Shalom. Let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel, people of Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian descent, Israelite foreigners, and you women that's humbling yourself to accept this truth. Again, may peace and much blessing. Shalom. 15,000 churches could close this year amid religious shift in U.S. Oh, it's going to shut down, period. They're all going to shut down eventually, period. Because this is not of the Lord, these churches, man. And I'm going to just dive straight into it. Let's just get the scriptures. And I just want to do a little commentary on on this article here, this study that they have. Okay, Acts. I'm not sure if it's Acts 7:44. It's been a minute. Actually, I just brought it out the other day. I think it's Acts 7:44. If not, I'll find it. I don't know what that was. Acts 7:44. Acts 7:48. Acts 7:48. Let's see if I'm right. Howbeit, yep, that's it. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Mm-hmm. I went back and forth with this devil on Tickety Talk. He was saying that the temples aren't churches, or churches aren't temple, vice versa. Oh man, just some people you'll frustrate yourself dealing with these people, man. These bug outs. Our ancestors, 48 Slaki. However, the Most High doesn't live in temples made by human hands, as said the prophet. So there you go. And I'm not sure if it does. And I remember looking it up before, but if it gets specific enough when you actually look it up, when you go into the temple itself.
Strong's G 3485. Naas.
Used of the temple at Jerusalem, but only of the sacred edifice or sanctuary itself, consisting of holy place and the holy of holies. In classical Greek, it is used of the sanctuary or cell of the temple where the image of the Most High was placed, which is distinguished from the whole enclosure. Any heathen temple or shrine, that's pretty much what they are all over Babylon, a bunch of heathen temples or shrines. And that shrine, that shit goes back to that Freemasonry. Metaphor, a spiritual temple consisting of the saints of all ages joined together. Right? The spiritual temple consisting of the saints of all ages joined together by and in Yahweh Shai. But the temple that we're building is out there on the highways. We're all, each individual are part of the temple that's being built. Each individual is a brick, man. That's going into actually the scriptures itself. A rock, brick, but a spiritual temple. But again, the temple or the church is the individuals, is the house that's being built, which the scriptures go into clearly, the house of David. All right, which again, it's none of these the scripture use shrine. Let's look up shrine. A shrine can refer to a sacred place for worship, a receptacle for sacred objects or relics, or a place hallowed by its history or association. There's something else I wanted in shrine that I looked up before. If the spirit hit me, it didn't get me. But these temples, and again, it's ideology that they push within these wicked churches, these temples. It's like, come on up. Is a false doctrine, and that they all it's a deceitful message that they push, because in all reality it's all bullshit. It's all again, these people are showing themselves to be nothing but hypocrites, where Part of their doctrine is they have respect and love for all other religions and beliefs, and all are welcome. And they literally do push that all are welcome, and that's not according to the Bible. That's not according to truth. And again, and as a matter of fact, since I mentioned it, having respect, we don't even respect their doctrine or these people. Grab into this. Let me open another one. Get out of that. I don't need that. And just going into the precept. Disrespect a person. I'm specifically looking for Peter's. And if you call on the Father who without respect of persons judges according to every man's works, pass the time. But if you have respect for you commit sin. There you go, just James 2:9. This is what I was looking for. Okay. The sin of partiality. And let's do that. Let's do that. Hold on. Come on. What? Look it up. Going to that one. Come on. Okay. And by partiality is the sin of showing favoritism or bias towards certain people based on superficial qualities like wealth, appearance, social status, or origin, instead of judging them by their intrinsic worth. Okay, let's do this. Let's get back to it. So the scripture goes into this. And this is the church to a T. My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the Lord of our glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto you assembly a man with a gold ring or goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, then you know where this is going. And look, they don't have the ability to look in the mirror and see fault and correct themselves. You know, some way, somehow they justify that. A man that's in a suit and a man. My cousin wears suits all the time, and he's one of the worst individuals I know. And he's an ordained minister. And literally, before he even became an ordained minister, I remember years ago he told me that he's considering getting into the church because it's the possibilities of of making money, the chances of him being able to make some money. That was his whole thing. But anyway, there are those that are going to look at, oh, he's a changed man. No, he's not, because he doesn't have the truth. Period. But anyway, and that's in the churches. These people are nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, and they do just that. And another clue of that is look at how they look at these entertainers and these rich people of the world, man. And no matter what, they can never do no wrong. And this is the mind of a Christian. As long as that man is rich, there's nothing they can say wrong, and there's nothing they can do wrong because they're rich. Or they are justified, or say, oh, he or she has repented of that, and he or she is a changed person. These people are foolish in their very talk, man. It's complete madness. And this is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with these people in these churches. And ye have respect to him that wear the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place. And say to the poor, and me mentioning my cousin, meaning that this nigga, all he does is walk around with suits on now. Every time you see this nigga, he got and he's a nigga. He has a suit on, man. And when having a conversation with him, it's never a conversation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Literally, there's never a conversation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Sean Williams, that's his name. So it says, and ye have respect to him that weareth. I put his name out there. I don't give a damn. You know, it's not family to me. Really, in all reality, never has been family to me. You know, I put the names out there here in Columbus, Ohio. Wear the gay clothing and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under the footstool. And ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he have promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men. And in this world, and mainly these churches, man, their goal and their only objective is to take advantage of the poor and to deceive the poor and take from the poor. Come on, man. I can't remember. I think it was Tupac, though, that gave reference and referred to these pastors and these preachers as poverty pimps. It was either him, Scarface, or Malcolm X, or all three of them. You know, they're poverty pimps, man. That's literally what they are. And especially now that the Hebrew Israelites, the prophets, are out there pushing the truth, they have to pick up their game. So they changed their game around a little bit. So the game is they literally have to. They were forced to actually go. They have to go into the scriptures now. But at the same time, the Lord's not dealing with them, so they lack of the understanding of the full scriptures, man. You know, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. In prophecy, with prophecy, they lacketh that. And the funny thing is, being in this world, they can't judge this world according to truth, according to righteousness. They can't judge the world properly. They can't speak on what's going on in its world. You know, something about their spirit is being partakers of it. It's holding them back from speaking outright truth. You know, these people that are working deceitfully, you know, as men of the Lord, they can't, if the Spirit's not dealing with, they can't speak truth. It's not allowing them to. It's actually the Spirit itself and a combination of their wickedness. So the Lord's not dealing with them. So they're a bunch of hypocrites. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs to the kingdom which hath promised them to that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called? If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scriptures, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin. Commit to respect to who? These hypocrites, man. You know, because that's ultimately what they are, a bunch of hypocrites. But if you have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. And that's going into For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now, if ye commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. You know, so speak ye and so do, and as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty. For he shall have judgment without mercy that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth over judgment. All right. So again, going back, dealing with these churches. Come on. I don't know why he keeps doing this, but oh well. Okay, let's stand with it. As far as these churches go, the doctrine itself, you know, which is it's a false doctrine. You know, it's literally a false doctrine, and especially those like my cousin. He went to this the cemetery school or a seminary, What's it called? A seminary. I can't remember what it's called, but I've, Apostle Elder to always say cemetery. We've been saying cemetery for years because that's pretty much all it is. A house, a place of a dead doctrine. That's for the dead. That's a spiritual thing. That's cemetery. It's good. A doctrine for the dead that are dead. That's all it is, man. So 15,000 churches, but I don't even know the number, but let's see how many churches is in Babylon. They're all going to church. They're all going to close, man. All of them, 100% of them is coming to a, it's about to come to a naught, to naught. Ooh, there are approximately 350,000 to 400,000 religious congregations in the United States. Ooh. So it's a profitable business. And imagine how many of those are under the 501c3 tax exempt. I wonder if they'd give me that answer as well. Let's ask AI. Let's ask AI. It has to be documented because it's an actual thing. It's an actual government-controlled entity, or however you want to refer to it as. How many churches in the U.S. are under the 501c3 tax exempt? Exemption. Okay, here we go. 400,000 churches. Whew. I can see that. I can see that. Because where churches are, there's 2 or 3 churches. And here I'm in rural Babylon, the country. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 within a 2-minute walking distance. Right in the middle of a village, man. 3. There's 3 of them. You know? That everyone in that village, in the surrounding areas would go to. And on Sundays, one of them is actually packed, full of Edomites. And those Edomites, when I ride by, usually on Sundays, if I'm going for my walk, they look at me strange as hell. And to be honest, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of those in the area, a lot of them be waving, a lot of them say hi. And I'm not talking about the people at the church, but the in the village that works the stores, the dollar stores and whatever, that be at the park, that be at the school track, the people in the area, a lot of them say hi and how you doing, man? Want to have conversation. But it's always when that church, when I go by that church, some people don't speak, wave hi, they look at you evil as hell, man. And I'm not even exaggerating in the least bit. And churches is full of evil motherfuckers, man. But that church, that one that gets packed, man, it's a bunch of Edomites. Okay, number of religious congregations, that's not what I want. IRS classification, nonprofit under 501c3. As of 2022, there are 1.48 million 501c3 organizations in the U.S., including charities, foundations, religious, and similar organizations. I asked a specific question, though. Can you get into a specific answer? Among these are many religious nonprofits, but not all congregations, churches appear in these counts. Why? Because churches don't have to apply for recognition from IRS or file certain returns to consider tax exempt if they meet the conditions of a 501c3. Okay, automatic exemption for versus registered status according to IRS rule. Churches and certain associated bodies that satisfy the requirements of Section 501c3 are automatically considered tax exempt, even if they never applied for formal recognition. Okay, because of this, many churches may not show up in IRS databases or in counts of organizations that file for exemption, even though they are operating under the 501c3 status of law. Okay, okay. There are approximately 370,000 religious congregations in the U.S. Most of the congregations will meet the requirements for the IRS 501c3 tax exemption because churches are generally treated as 501c3 by default. Oh, okay. When they fulfill certain criteria. And I should ask what that criteria is, but not all will have formally registered with the IRS or be listed at in database of recognized tax exempt entities. So let's ask that question. I didn't mean to go into all this, but I can't help it. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Be organized and operate exclusively for exempt purposes such as religion, charitable, educational, scientific, literary, testing for public safety, fostering national, international, amateur sports, fostering national, international, amateur sports competition, prevent cruelty to children or animals. They're guilty of all this. Not distribute earnings to private individuals or shareholders, meaning, well, I didn't even have to read all that, but number one, be organized and operate exclusively for exempt purposes. Number two, not distribute earnings to private individual shareholders, meaning no part of the net income can benefit private individuals, pastors, or church leaders beyond reasonable salaries or stipends. Not participate in political campaigns, which they do. Churches cannot endorse or oppose political candidates. Only limited lobbying is allowed. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. Only limited lobbying is allowed. Not operate for private interests. Specific criteria for a church. And I don't know if it's direct. It might be directly connected, but this spirit of what these churches is in here in Babylon, where it's headed. Let me grab this here. How they got in here in Ohio concerning that devil Charlie Kirk. That devil. They passed some laws as far as I wish I can find it. Where'd it go? Let me oh, it's okay. There you go. It's a bill. He right here in Ohio, man. And you know damn well that this thing, Esau is on that on a war path of hate, man. You know, and pushing that division. You know, Ohio's always been known for this type of shit. That you know that they just Ohio is pro Edomite. You know, Ohio bill named after Charlie Kirk promotes positive Christian school lessons. Now, and you know that this devil was a open racist, man. Oh, so now they're trying to they're full steam ahead pushing that bullshit racist doctrine. Full steam ahead, man. The Charlie Kirk American Heritage Act is designed specifically to clarify law for those who are uncertain. This provides, and I want to click on one of them, but I don't want it'll hopefully no video is on it that'll cause this program to shut down. Charlie Kirk bill sparks debate over teaching impact of Christianity in Ohio schools. That's another news one. Okay, here's Yahoo. Christian lessons. But you know damn well the Christian lessons, Christianity is anti-biblical. So here we go. Let's click on it. Hope it doesn't crash. Funny looking thing. That's a funny looking Edomite, man. That's a funny looking Edomite. That's that spirit. That's the spirit. He has a foul spirit. I'm not going to get into all this, though. Some Ohio lawmakers want to enshrine educators' ability to teach about the positive influence of religion on American history. On American history, specifically Christianity. Dubbed the Devil Charlie Kirk American Heritage Act, House Bill 8